Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the about to be rainy Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be why the narcissist remains trapped. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the narcissist is trapped in the cycle. They are trapped in the narcissistic abusive loop. And the one constant in that loop and that cycle, it is the narcissist, and they know it. What they try to do, and they attempt to do, and many times they succeed at doing, is getting people to fall for the false narrative, for getting people to believe in the mask, and then eventually trapping them in the narcissistic fog or the devaluation stage. This is where the narcissist thrives. There are 4 parts to the narcissistic abusive cycle. Remember, the first part is the love bomb / euphoric stage, when you think that everything's almost too good to be true with these people, because it is. Second part's the devaluation stage, where you are existing, you're not living, and you're trying to get back to that euphoric stage. And that is the longest part of the relationship usually. And the third part is the ending of the relationship, whether you ended it yourself or you were discarded. Either way, my heart goes out to you. And the fourth part, at times, is a hoover. Do not accept a hoover. A hoover is when the narcissist is trying to draw you back into the relationship for a minute, a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, or they are testing the temperature of your healing. They are seeing if you are strong enough to go no contact, etc. And they're seeing if you will take a bite of the forbidden fruit. In other words, go back for another round of punishment. But having said all those things, where the narcissist thrives is when they have you placed in the devaluation stage. Now, this is a place that was foreign to you, because why would you be devaluing somebody? More importantly, you weren't taught this in school, so why would you even think for a minute that another human being would want to and actually enjoy devaluing you? This is how the narcissist goes through life. They want to put themselves high up on the pedestal. They want to feel superior to other people. They want to feel entitled and more important, and they believe all those things. And when they can capture somebody like yourself, a beautiful, bright, shining light, an empath maybe even, when they can capture you and have you low on the vibrational totem pole, meaning they exchange places with you. They took your beautiful, bright, shining light and they were watching you squirm throughout that devaluation, and then you were captured. You didn't know what happened, but you were believing in the mask and believing in the narrative of the person who turned out to be the narcissist. So when you two switched spaces, the narcissist was loving life, because now they were getting all the supply from invalidating you, devaluing you, and keeping you trapped and stuck in that loop of manipulation. This is what they do. This is what they did before they met you. This is what they did when they met you. And this is what they're doing with other people right now, i.e. the new supply. Having said those things, the narcissist will always remain trapped in the cycle. The narcissist is the person that needs to have 3 smartphones. The narcissist is the person who is actually inferior, and they are shallow, and they're hollow, and they're cowards, and they're bullies, and they know that. But what they do to the exterior world is they put on a mask and act like they know so much, and they're so intelligent, and they have the best clothes, and they know the best people on the planet, and they have all the connections and things like that. That's how the narcissist wants to appear. They want to appear that they have so much, when in fact inside of them there is so little. Play that part of the video again, play it a few times, because not everything is as it appears to be on this planet. We are learning not only about narcissism, that other people are not who they appear to be. They don't have to be a narcissist, but the narcissist is the main cog in the wheel of abuse that we are referring to, or I am referring to here, because that's why you're on the channel. And the narcissist is the person that is staying stuck, trapped in that cycle. Remember, when the narcissist went off to the new supply, what they had to do is they had to appear single, number 1. Number 2, they had to twist the knife inside of you, or whoever they discarded, as deep as they could, because they wanted to inflict as much damage, and they wanted to keep you where? That's right, they wanted to keep you trapped in the narcissistic abusive cycle. This is what they want to do, because the narcissist is a master manipulator. They do not think ever that anybody will heal. They don't think that ever anybody is going to be strong enough to see behind the mask. And they don't think that people will be strong enough to go no contact, to block them, delete them, and remove all flying monkeys and people associated with them. But that's what you've done. You're in the community, you're on the channel, you are getting your cup full, you're understanding that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third, and there is no room in your life for a toxic, narcissistic person or anybody who doesn't serve you or have your best interest at heart. But you're not trapped any longer. Let's say for you, the relationship ended a few months or a couple of years ago, and you're still healing. Well, number 1, the great news is you're out of the relationship. The better news is you're healing. And my hope is you are working towards achieving the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, where you no longer care about the narcissist or any people from that period of time. That's where you should be striving to reach. Now, many of us are there. Many of us are waiting for you. Some of us, this is the first video we're ever consuming, and we're learning all about narcissism. But the point being is, if the relationship ended a couple months ago or years ago, and you're still healing, you're not trapped. You're liberated. You're free. You are doing things you want to do. You are spending time with those that you want to spend time with. If you want to sleep in, you sleep in. If you want to stay up late, you stay up late. If you want to journal, you journal. You want to meditate, see a therapist, go for a jog. If you want to swim, if you want to exercise, if you want to take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book, you can do whatever you want to do. But along with the experiences that you're having, reclaiming your hobbies, etc., you are also still healing. That is why so frequently many people come back to the channel after years to get a touch up, to get a brush up, to check in with the community, to pay it forward and drop some comments on the videos that I create. Because at one point in time, those people who check in every now and again, they were you. They were me. They were lost. They were trapped. They didn't know about narcissism. They didn't know that the person that they loved was actually their arch enemy. They didn't know the person that they were telling everything to and explaining their behaviors and explaining their emotions and thoughts was the person who was gathering up more and more information to do more damage to them. This is the conundrum. This is the narcissistic loop. It is built by design to throw people off base, to throw people into the deep end of destruction, the cesspool of manipulation, and to keep people trapped. Imagine, if you will, and this I am certain resonates with you in the past, or perhaps it does resonate with you right now. Imagine you are on the ocean in a boat, and that boat is rudderless. It has no direction. That's where the narcissist placed you. They placed you trapped in a boat in the middle of the ocean with pitch black raging seas, waves crashing over each side of the bow. But you didn't know where land was. You didn't know how to get to the shore. But one day, what happened? The clouds broke. The sun appeared. You looked to your left and then to your right, and then straight ahead, you saw land. It was way up in the distance, but you now had direction. You now had a place that you were headed towards, and slowly but surely, you began to move that boat towards the shore. Now, this took time. It took a lot of time, but in your time, you accomplished reaching the boat to the shore. And then you crawled out of the boat onto land, and you laid on the ground and exhaled in disbelief, because what a journey it had been. What a roller coaster. What a turbulent ocean experience you had, but you made it. And that is equivalent to the light at the end of the tunnel. When you see the light at the end of the tunnel, or when you see the land and you're in the middle of the ocean in a boat that has no direction, you need to focus on that and know that today where you are is not where you will be in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, and in 12 months. Continue understanding your value, continue understanding your power, continue understanding that it is you that the narcissist was looking for. They were looking for an energy source. They were looking for somebody to take from. They wanted to decimate you. They wanted to take anything they possibly could from you. And this is what they did. Until when? That's right, until they didn't. As I mentioned previously, it's the narcissist who's stuck and trapped in the loop. They can't escape it. This is the behavior that they know. This is their instinctual way that they communicate with people. This is why they blow up every relationship they become a part of. This is why there's no stability with the narcissist. This is why the narcissist is always on the go. This is why they always have 1 foot in the relationship and 1 foot out of the relationship. This is why they're always looking for the next new shiny object. This is why they're trapped. Imagine, if you will, when the narcissist goes to bed at night, and let's say that their smartphones have no battery. Well, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to try and distract themselves, or try to go to sleep. Now let's take the second part. Let's say that they can't distract themselves and they need to go to sleep. Well, there will be little glimpses, little times, little periods before they actually fall asleep, when they will be thinking about all the lives that they blew up, what they need to do tomorrow to keep the mask super glued onto their face, what lies they told today, what lies they will tell tomorrow, and who will be the next target. This is the mindset of the narcissist, because they're trapped. They are always plotting, planning, looking. They want the next conquest. They want the next big thing. The narcissist is always looking to elevate their lifestyle, to elevate the people they surround themselves with. The narcissist is in competition with their own sisters, their own brothers, their own children. The narcissist, again, I will say this for the second time, they're shallow, they're hollow, they're cowards, and they're bullies, and they know it. They know that at times, yes, they may have the loudest voice in the room. And yes, they can manipulate better than most people on the planet. But then again, why would you manipulate? Having said these two things, The narcissist also knows that there are moments in every single day of their life, maybe they're when they're driving a car and a song comes on Spotify, or maybe when they're trying to go to sleep at night and they can't quite, or maybe when somebody ghosts them, or maybe when they reach out to somebody and that person does not respond because they block them. The narcissist will get a dose of their own medicine. Now again, on the channel, I've suggested this since the beginning and I will never change my mind. I don't wish ill will upon anybody. Not the narcissist, not you, not anybody. What I do wish is the betterment for everybody. And to do that, many times we have to do things which are called taking the high road, which means doing the right thing, which means despite the fact that the smear campaign probably is still underway right now in your life, you don't give it fuel, you don't give it attention, you don't give it energy, you let it burn itself out. That's one example. That's what I did, and my hope and my suggestion is that's what you do. Because adding fuel to the flames of, let's say, the smear campaign, or staying in contact with someone who's a toxic person, it won't benefit you. It never has and it never will, but that's what the narcissist wants. Imagine the pig pen, if you will, where the pigs are. The narcissist lives and exists in the pig pen of mud, of slinging mud, of the smear campaign, of triangulation, of gaslighting, of stonewalling, silent treatment, and anything they can, including verbal abuse. And what they want to do is they want people to go down in the mud with them and go toe-to-toe with them in their arena. That's why you don't do it. That's why you don't call the narcissist out. That's why you don't expose them. That's why you go no contact and block them, if not now, when? Because it is the narcissist that's stuck in that loop. You were captured for a period of time, and yes, you were in the loop, and it was not fun. It was the most challenging relationship you had ever been a part of for a few reasons. One, you weren't taught this in school. Two, you couldn't wrap your head around what it was, because why would somebody intentionally try to harm another person? Why would somebody intentionally try to blow up any relationship that that person had in their lives? Why would another person be envious and jealous of you just simply being you? Play that part of the video again. When you're an empath, or you are a kind, loving human being, and you're healthy and you're stable and you want the betterment for all, and another person is looking at you with envy and jealousy, and they're saying, how can you be that way? How were you born that way? How are you consistently every day having a smile on your face and doing the right thing? Well, I'll give you the answer to that. The answer is because that's the way we are born. We want the betterment for humanity. We want to build people up. We want to grow, to learn, to teach, to become awakened and aware, educated and empowered. But what we don't want is toxicity from a narcissist or any toxic person. You have to understand that the people on the planet that are in your corner and on your side, not all of them have the level of empathy that you have. Not all of them have been through the same experiences you have been through. And some of those people will, to the exterior, appear like they are your best friends, and maybe they won't be. But then flip it. Now there's a flat out toxic person who was trying to take you down for the count. And that is the narcissist. And there are so many more of those people crawling the planet, and they want to disrupt people's energy. They want to blow up relationships. They want to take your time, your money, your energy, your effort, your love, your empathy. They want to take anything that makes you you. And there are two reasons why they want to take it. Number one, because that's their instinctive nature to try and take. But number two, because they don't want you to have it. And they want to trade places with you. As I shared earlier in the video, there is an energetic exchange between the narcissist and its target. And its target, if that person has a high level of empathy, well, that person falls into the trap. They fall into the loop of abuse where the narcissist exists and thrives. And when that person, i.e. the empath, is captured and trapped, they don't know how to get out of it until they get the wisdom, until they find that needle in a haystack and they get their first light bulb moment and they say, oh my gosh, that's what this was. This was a challenging, toxic, narcissistic relationship. How did I get in it? Why did I stay in it so long? And how did I get myself out of it? Well, you have all those answers by now, or you're getting them. The whole point is leaving the narcissist in the past, taking the lifelong learning lessons from that relationship, learning about the definitions in the glossary in the narcissistic abusive cycle, not predicting the future, living in the present moment, the here and the now, and doing the best you can do for yourself to insulate and protect yourself, not only today, but today, this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow, and each and every day going forward. We now have become the educated empaths. We now do not overshare. We now do have boundaries. We now do say no, the strongest word in the English language. And remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. That is a word the narcissist did not want to hear, and they don't want to hear from anybody, because that means that the narcissist doesn't have control over a person. So when you say no to somebody or someone, watch how they handle it. Do they double down and try to get you to still do whatever they wanted you to do? If they do, I would say hasta la vista. I would say goodbye, because they're not respecting your boundaries. They're not respecting you as a human being, and you've been down that road before. You see the signs now. There's no reason to be communicating with a person who does not have your best interest at heart, or who is not listening to you. They're listening to their own words because they're trying to get you to do something for them. That is why, again, once you go down the rabbit hole of education and exploration, post-narcissistic relationship, and you will start with the narcissist, and then after you identify who that is, you'll go down and you'll explore other relationships you have with people. When you do that, then you're going to branch out, and you'll go back to your immediate family members, past romantic relationships, colleagues, coworkers, people in communities and or hobby groups you were part of, and then you're going to figure out, oh my gosh, this stuff has been all around me. I just never knew it. The trick, the key, and the fact here is, you didn't know it until you were meant to figure it out. That's when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. We all have a light bulb moment when our eyes become opened and we finally get the light bulb moment. That if you flip that for a minute, the narcissist knew the whole time. The narcissist knew their whole life that they could control you, manipulate you, and they were hoping and banking to keep you trapped. They were hoping that you wouldn't figure them out. But that's what happens. The tide turns eventually for those of us in the community, not for everybody on the planet, but for those of us that are in the community, the tide has turned. We now see what we have seen. We now can't unsee what we've seen, and we now can identify toxicity in a moment's notice. It was advantage narcissists throughout our whole life, whether it was the romantic relationship we were part of, our mom, dad, aunt, uncle, sibling, coworker, whomever. But once we got that needle in a haystack and we applied the wisdom and applied the tools and took our experiences from the past and coupled them with the education, that equals wisdom. And that's when it's game, set, match, and you win. You win, not the narcissist. That is why so frequently on the channel I suggest for people to go no contact and block. The whole idea here is to let you know, once you've identified what narcissism is and how it affected you for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship, you need to run for the hills away from these people. You need to not give them any more chances. You need to not believe in the mask. You need to understand how valuable your time is, your health is, your energy is, everything about you. We need you on the planet. We don't need you in a toxic narcissistic relationship. The narcissist will slither away onto whatever supply source is available to them. And unfortunately, that's just how the cycle works. And the narcissist with the new supply, remember, the new supply is only one of three people. One, they are a recycled person who hasn't healed or figured out what narcissism is yet. Number two, they're a brand new person who has never experienced narcissism, and that person is a people pleaser or a yes person, high level of empathy, etc., and they're believing in the mask. Or three, it's another toxic person, a narcissist or another even worse toxic person. So that's who the new supply is. And at one point that was you. It certainly was me. Think about what I'm sharing with you. Before you met the narcissist, they were with another source of supply. And before then, and then, and then, and then. That's how they go through life. And that's what they do. That's why they keep little groups and bubbles of people separated. That's why they keep people trapped checking their smartphones all the time. That's why they keep people trapped in their own homes. That's why they keep people trapped in relationships. That's why they keep people trapped thinking about them, etc. But once you get the wisdom, apply the tools, and understand everything, you won't be trapped, because you will be healing, or you will have healed, and you will realize that it is the narcissist who has dark days ahead of them, because they have to live in their mind. What the narcissist did to you is they wanted to dump all their toxicity and negativity into you and have you believe it. That's what they wanted to do, and you actually probably did believe it until you didn't. Then when you understood that, wait, that's their baggage, it has nothing to do with me, and before I met the narcissist, I was doing great in life. But then I met them and my world was turned upside down, and everything was, a monkey wrench was thrown in everything. Well, that's because that's what the narcissist does. They want your life being topsy-turvy. They don't want stability. They want you still in that boat in the middle of the turbulent ocean with no direction and no light. They don't want you finding the shore. They don't want you healing. They don't want you discovering who they are. And they don't want you finding out your higher purpose. But that is what you're doing. You've checked all the boxes now. You've identified who the narcissist is, and you are on the healing path, and you are headed forward, and you are moving towards that pinnacle of indifference. That is what we must do. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful, about to be rainy Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you. You are not alone. And I really thought it was going to rain a lot harder. It's starting to rain now. So enjoy yourselves. I will talk to you tomorrow. God bless you. I'm going to send you a huge virtual hug. Continue on the path moving forward. Play this video, play it a few times, and pay it forward to somebody who could use it, because there are so many people who are trapped in the loop right now that don't know what narcissism is. At one point, that was you. It certainly was me. But no longer am I trapped, and you aren't either. You're breaking free, or you have broken free, and the tethers have been removed from you. You are now vibrating higher than the sun, the moon, and the stars, and you are not in that ship in the middle of the ocean with no direction. You are now on land, and you are now living your best life, or are about to live your best life. I love you all. God bless you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I love you. Bye, you guys.